si ICI Director and Spokesman Brian Hosaka is now joining us on the line. Attorney Hosaka, thank you for joining us and welcome to Storycon.
Hi, Attorney.
Yes, good afternoon. Good afternoon, Ed. Good afternoon, Amy. And good afternoon to all your viewers, listeners.
Thank you, sir, for joining us. Sir, big question ng maraming tao, ay bakit ho nag-resign si Babe Singson?
The chairman kanina had an announcement this afternoon, and Commissioner Babe Singson indeed tendered his resignation, citing reasons, health reasons. According to him, the stress and the work in the ICI has taken a toll on his aging body. That is his word.
Sir, we got that from Justice Reyes, but we were wondering kasi if that was the real reason given by Babe Singson, or it was just an off the cuff remark. So you're saying it was the formal official reason given by Babe Singson?
Yeah, actually the chairman just parroted what Secretary Babe Singson said in his letter.
In those words,
Pero Mr. Hosaka, matagal na actually may mga kumakalat na rumors that Mr. Singson was unhappy with the way the ICI was carrying out its work. Chismis lang Patanong lang naman namin kung totoo. And meron yatang mga internal arguments at matagal na actually siyang chismis na gusto na mag-resign. There was a story previously about siguro na nag-umpisa pa lang yung ICI na after Mayor Magalong resigned, ang story na lumabas, another member wanted to resign, and actually all the speculation was focused on Secretary Singson. Ano po yung masasabi naman yun?
Actually, hindi totoo yun. Wala naman ganun na reason or ganun na dahilan. As stated by Chairman Reyes, at the same time, sa letter mismo ni Secretary Singson, is that yun lang talaga. It's just because of the stress and the intensity of the work required here in the ICI. It has taken the toll in his body, so naapektuhan daw yung kanyang health. And in addition to that, he cited safety reasons as well. Now, yung mga chismis na gano'n, ako mismo magpapakatotoo doon na kasi whenever we work here, talagang we're really cohesive, no? Nagkakasundo naman yung tatlo. And I don't see any disgruntlement or any frustration on the part of Secretary Singson. And kaya nga yun yung reason why the Commission and even as discussed by Chairman Singson together with the members of the Commission, I myself included, decided to announce it publicly already because nagkakaroon na ng fake news, no? Yung mga ganyan or misinformation. Para we want to, Secretary Bates wanted to put everything straight, no? Talagang malaman ng publiko ano yung rason at ano yung dahilan kung bakit siya bababa sa pwesto.
Isa daw sa points of argument yung live streaming From the start, yun yung pinagsimulan ng mga rumors na gusto daw ni Mr. Singson i-live stream. At was there a lot of, matindi ba yung argument over that issue?
Wala naman, it's just a matter of discussion on ano ba talaga yung tamang pamamaraan with regard to having more, as far as the transparency of the commission is concerned. There was really no argument there. There were discussions among the members of the commission, but there was really no intense argument to cause any disgruntlement or probably frustration, which would lead to any resignation by the members.
Pero totoo, Mr. Hosaka, totoo na gusto ni Babe Singson na i-live stream from the start.
Ang discussion yan, nagkaroon nga yan ng balance. As I said in my previous press briefings, it is something which is the commission discussed, and they eventually decided on how to go about this. When the fact that they allowed live streaming, it means all of them wanted live streaming.
But sir, yesterday I understand there was a portion of the discussion that was live streamed where I think it was si Justice Reyes himself who made the remark na parang I'm paraphrasing here, kaya ayaw ko ng live streaming or kaya I'm hesitating about that live streaming was that Justice Reyes, and what was the context there?
Well, I think yung context doon was on the fact that yung reply o yung sagot ni Congressman Agaraw.
Mm-hmm.
So I think yung context lang yun because he was hesitating to surrender his
phone.
Cellphone. So yun lang naman yung context nun. The fact is we have our live streaming guidelines. We've laid it all down, ano yung magiging patakaran namin. In fact, it's open to the public. It's published in the official gazette for everybody to see, no? So that's the position, and that's the current position of the commission, the chairman included.
Yes, sir. We appreciate man that it's a collective decision, but on the other hand, that remark by Justice Reyes yesterday gave the impression that he's not particularly fond of the idea of live streaming.
Siguro nga yung sinabi ko yung konteksto yun nung sagot ni Congressman Agaraw with regard to surrendering because there were private matters that sabi niya na hindi connected dun sa under investigation which might open it to the commission and even to the public. So yun yung konteksto nun.
Yes, sir. Well, sir, we understand naman, sir. Of course, not everything in a person's cell phone could or should be disclosed. But we're talking about members of the ICI who have control over what will be disclosed on the live streaming. I mean, even if he turns over his cell phone to the ICI, they're not going to go like that to the camera and show all the contents, di ba? That they can peruse it by themselves and then make remarks on that. So I'm wondering exactly ano yung konteksto kung bakit nag-react ng ganun si Justice Reyes na kasi sir, it does leave people with an indicator of just how unpopular the idea is with Justice Reyes.
Well, I cannot second guess on what's the reason behind that comment, but as I said earlier, nasa konteksto yun on the
I understand, sir.
In fact, it was medyo natawa nga sila doon. No? So I guess it was a human nature on the part of the chairman and even the members of the commission together with the to jokingly aside with regard to that matter.
Mm-hmm. We're joined by Regina Lay. Reg.
Yeah,
Hi, good afternoon, attorney.
Good afternoon.
Sorry, I'm a bit late.
Okay. Question?
No, go ahead.
No. Well, anyway, sir. So as far as si Babe Singson is concerned, 15 I think yung petsa, pero he's willing to extend until the end of the month. Did I get that right?
Well, it all depends on the because the resignation was addressed to the office of the president, to the president. So eventually, it is the president who would decide on the resignation. As mentioned by the chairman in this press conference, it might be extended up to the end of the year. We don't know. We're just going to wait for the eventual decision of the palace on the resignation of Secretary Babe Singson.
Mm-hmm. Kasi question on everybody's mind is how will this affect the investigation given that it's already all systems go, umaandar na yung mga proseso, nagla-live stream na nga, tapos biglang nag-resign isang major stakeholder.
Isa rin na maaaring mabanggit rin namin doon sa letter ni Secretary Babe Singson because as far as he is concerned, nakita niya rin that ang next step would be prosecutorial already. Meaning sinasabi niya that he has already shared his knowledge, expertise with regard to the investigation or the mandate of the ICI. In particular, kasi malaking bagay rin talaga na nandito Secretary Babe Singson because of his institutional knowledge of the DPWH. So, in that case, medyo nagkaroon ng matinding or mabigat na or importanteng role si Secretary Babe Singson in the sense that he was able to guide the commission on how to go about with the investigation as far as structuring of DPWH is concerned, the practices and the controls there. So, malaking bagay.
Mr. Hosaka, may issue ngayon kasi yung session ninyo ngayon, nag-request sila Congressman Roman Romulo of Pasig and Danny Domingo of Bulacan na mag-executive session ostensibly dahil daw to protect their reputations from being maligned. Ngayon nag-aalala mga tao baka that's setting a precedent for all politicians to invoke the same reasons para mag-executive session. Para pa daw yung live streaming kung gano'n ang mangyayari.
Alam mo, gaya nga ng sinabi namin, or I explained to the public or even to the media before, ang default ng ICI is live streaming. We want it live stream. Kung pwede nga 100% live stream yan. That's our, in fact, we read section 1 of our guideline. Ang default really, the general rule is that we go live streaming. However, we also recognize, number one, the laws, the Constitution. At the same time, yung mga rulings ng Korte Suprema, ng judiciary, wherein even in their guidelines on access to information, there are exceptions. Hindi absolute yung access ng publiko sa information. So we base it there. And nakalagay naman doon, if there's any threat to the safety or person of any individual, national security, it's all included there. Nakalagay lahat din doon sa guidelines. And it's not the guidelines invented by the ICI. We based it on law. We based it in the decision of the Supreme Court. Now, if our resource persons would cite that or cite that as reason, ang isa pang rason dyan, if it will affect the investigation, ongoing investigation by the Commission, then it can be a reason or a justification for executive session. Now, kung yan ang magiging basihan ng aming resource persons, that will be considered by the Commission. Kaya nasa guidelines namin yan because we want the public to know na ang gusto ng ICI is really live streaming. Sabi ko nga. However, we do accept exceptions as provided for by law and even pronouncement by the court.
Pero yung mga nasa executive session ba, will the public find out kung ano nangyari? Kung sakasakali, kasi nga yun ang inaalala ng mga tao ngayon, dahil naumpisahan na yan, lahat ng politicians sasabihin nila, ganun din Of course, it's their reputation at stake. They're being accused of high crimes Paano kung lahat sila, yan ang sabihin?
Well, yan ang sasabihin na if that's still based on law, then the ICI, the commission, the commissioners will be forced to follow the law. No one's above the law. Ay hindi naman namin pwedeng ibaliwala kung ano nasa batas, anong sinasabi ng ating korte. We're just following rules here. We're following the rule of law. We're following our laws. We're following the pronouncement of the Supreme Court and our court. So, hindi namin pwedeng ibaliwala yun. We have to also recognize and respect the rights of the individuals, our resource persons included.
Sir, Congressman Romulo requested the executive session saying that his testimony could put his life at risk if it is made public, and that was granted by the ICI. I presume, and I suppose the public would like to presume then that when the commission heard his testimony, it would have been able to decide or determine right then and there if his life is really at risk, or if he just doesn't want to, just doesn't want to have it made public. I suppose, sir, naman, the commission can decide at that very moment na hindi ka dapat nag-executive session.
Well, I think there was I think it was very clear that there was a request for live streaming by Congressman Romulo, and at the same time he justified the request based on the guidelines and rules of the ICI. It was granted. So it remains as that. It remains as an executive session.
But the point, I guess, is that not every request will be granted. Not every request for executive session will be granted. Is that correct?
Well, yes, of course. It is not based on our rules. It's not based on the guidelines that are provided. Then the request for executive session can be denied.
Because so far, I think everyone that's asked for an executive session have been accommodated, right?
Yes.
Okay. I think we're running out of time, but I just want to ask you one very quick question about the charges that were recommended, that you recommended along with the DPWH for plunder and other charges against House Speaker, former Speaker, I should say, Martin Romualdez and Zaldi Ko. How strong was your case here, and what else did you find? Because when I spoke to DPWH Secretary Vince Dizon, ang sabi lang niya sa akin is that they based it on the testimonies from the Senate and also, largely testimonies that they got, I guess, from that surprise witness, Orly Guteza. What else do we have here?
Are we referring to the referral several weeks
Correct.
ago? Because
Yes.
there have been several, yeah. But as far as the former speaker is concerned, there were two referrals. The first referral was coming from the DPWH and the referral of the ICI, wherein we turned over the evidence, pieces of evidence, documents, and even the video recording of the testimony of the former speaker here in the ICI. Kasi nalaman namin that the we were always in close coordination with the DPWH for this matter. And when we learned that there was gonna be a referral pertaining to former Speaker Romualdez, the Commission saw it fit to submit also whatever evidence that we have to the Office of the Ombudsman to aid them and to support the referral by the DPWH, because baka kasi may makita silang mga bagong evidence or additional evidence that would make the case build up stronger and more faster in that sense.
Just very quickly, will you ever release or make public his testimony? I mean, the former speaker's testimony to the ICI.
Well, right now, the matter is with the Office of the Ombudsman, so we have to coordinate with them because they also have their own rules with regard to that matter.
Okay. Well, we'll come back to you on that. But we're gonna have to let you go for now. I think you have another meeting. Thank you so much for talking to us, ICI Executive Director and Spokesperson, Attorney Brian Hosaka.
Thank you, Attorney.
All right,
Thank you,
ma'am.
Attorney.
Thank you, Ed, Amy, and Reggie. Thank you.